Mr. Minister, we have seen a glimpse into the political leader that you are. But if I were to ask you, on a personal front, what is the difference between KTR the son and KTR the father?
Well, huge difference, because as growing up as a son, I didn't know the kind of sacrifice my father had to put for me, had to make for me. But now I do realize, you know, you can't give enough time, you can't give them enough attention. So from the father perspective, I kind of understand what my father went through now. But as a son, obviously, I had, you know, always wanted time, I always wanted attention. So yeah, huge difference.
And in your journey, who would you say is your, you know, best friend or confidant when you have to pick up the phone and discuss anything under the world, whether it's politics, whether it's a holiday destination, whether it's anything?
Well, obviously, my family members, immediate family, my wife, my mom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, a quick rapid fire, Mr. Minister. Now, if I were to ask you your favorite holiday destination in the world?
In the world, New York. In India, it would be Goa.
Favorite cuisine?
Chinese.
Do you have a favorite book or a favorite movie?
Yes, Ayn Rand's Fountainhead. And favorite movie? Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah? Favorite restaurant here in Hyderabad?
That would be the End Grill.
And would you confirm to what the rest of Hyderabad does, which is chicken biryani, or would you?
I mean, you cannot but endorse Hyderabadi biryani. I think it's the best in the world.
What are the key challenges, according to you? What are your biggest strengths and biggest weaknesses?
Personally, well, biggest strengths I would say is the fact that I enjoy the backing of the Chief Minister, and I'm looked at as a progressive minister in the government, and I'm also looked at as the urban face of this government. That is the biggest strength. And we are backed by a very decisive leader in the form of our Chief Minister, so obviously that helps. Drawback, I would say, is I don't have enough time, because the fact of the matter is you have to balance politics on one hand and administration on the other, and family, and I have young children. So time management is the biggest challenge.
Would you think that for every politician, you know, that balance between politics, public life and personal life is never really, can you ever do justice to everything?
No.
No?
Simple as that, you know. I think any successful politician, no, it's not about not trying, it says that you cannot, because 24 hours in a day is not enough. So therefore I think beyond a point you just give up and say, like in Bazigar, like Shah Rukh Khan says, you know, kuch paane ke liye kuch khona padta hai. So
are you a Bollywood buff?
I'm a huge Shah Rukh Khan fan. So,
yeah? And do you have any other favorite actor or actress?
Well, I do. All the young new lot, I think they're very, very talented, supremely talented in fact. And yeah, but Shah Rukh has been a favorite for a long time now. And
we have to talk about the Telugu film industry. Do you have any favorites in that?
Well, no, I can't say that, because I have to be politically correct, because all of them I know well, so I can't really pick and choose favorites there.
Does anything frighten you or, you know, cause you to stop for a minute and think, in the future, do you have a fear at all of something?
Yes, of course. The aspirations of the people, the expectations are sky high. The fact that you only have limited time to fulfill them, and the fact that there is a lot of red tapeism and there is a lot of you know, stumbling blocks in between, I think that really comes in the way. There are a lot of challenges, because any politician in this country, I'm sure, would want a pat on the back, would want to get things done ASAP. Nobody wants to get flack from the people, people who voted us to where we are. So therefore, I think the biggest challenge and what keeps me up at night is obviously the fact that expectations are very, very high, and we are a new state which is basically, you know, not yet fully realized its potential. But I think it's a huge challenge.
Are there any individuals or mentors who you draw inspiration from?
Well, besides my father, I think there are several. I mean, there are some shining examples of good work in public life across the country. Me naming them would not be a good thing to do right now, but I think my father and our Chief Minister is a very, very decisive leader. He's a man of vision. He's a man of big picture, and he's also a man who pays great deal of attention to detail. So I think, yeah, you have to learn from experience. You have to learn from the exuberance of youth as well. In fact, a lot of youngsters who I interact with on a very, very regular basis, especially in politics, are quite talented and are people who I need to, I think, pick up a few pills of energy from.
You did mention vision here. Do you have a vision for Telangana 2020 maybe?
Well, 2020 is too close. In fact, I would say the vision ought to be for the next, I would say, 15 to 20 years. And I think India has to do a lot of, really do a lot of catching up. The world is far ahead of us. The world is race ahead, and India is still grappling with basics. I think the rural-urban divide in India is growing. The class division is growing because there's a burgeoning, affluent upper middle class and middle class, which is growing rapidly. But at the same time, the poverty indices don't seem to change as quickly. So therefore, India has a huge challenge as a country, and I think Telangana doing well will only augur well for India, because like I said, each and every state doing its bit, each and every state picking up. I think it will only help the country in the longer run.
Well, it could be a kind of rhetoric question, but if not a politician, have you ever thought of what you could have been or would have aspired to become?
Well, I would purely be working in the US as a business professional, and I'd be content in being one of the many millions of Indians out there.
And any interests, sports, hobbies, apart from politics, what keeps you ticking?
Well, of course, sports I'm very, very interested in, but I don't get enough time to play. I mean, I'm also heading the Lawn Tennis Association and the Badminton Association of Telangana. I'm also the patron for Hyderabad Cricket Association. So all these three sports where India does rather well, I'm there, and I'm there to cheer them. In fact, I'm a big believer in social capital. So I, in fact, have been trying very, very hard to make sure Hyderabad finds its rightful position in the social scene. So therefore, when I became a minister and when I started talking about sunburns and EDMs, a lot of people scoffed. They said, what is this guy talking about? But then today, Hyderabad's, I think, music scene has picked up, and Hyderabad has picked up quite well as a MICE destination in the last couple of years. And our theme has been Happening Hyderabad. And I think Hyderabad has been happening
for the last couple of years. Now, before I throw the spotlight on to politics and corporate and business sentiment, if I were to ask you, looking back, do you believe in regrets, and do you at all have any?
Of course, who doesn't? Anybody who says he doesn't is lying. So I do, of course. A lot of times. I'm not going to talk to you about them though.
Fair enough. All right. We'll come back after this very short break.